So this is the 4th session with our coach Iris in the month of August. And this unfortunately is going to be probably the last private skate that I'll have with him until the new year. I'll be doing a semi-private session with my buddy Tiny Tendy in about a month from now, just to get a bit of a tune-up before the fall season starts. So this skate, we actually focus on learning the RVH and overlap, which is completely new to me. So if you're looking to learn these two techniques, definitely check out the full video if you have time, because Iris basically breaks down the whole technique for a beginner. As always, I've added some timestamps below for you to skip around if you need to. Anyways, I hope you all had a great off season. This is probably the 11th time I've been on the ice this month, so my body's looking forward to a bit of rest after this one. Definitely let me know in the comments below if these full-length training videos have helped you in any way. And also, if you have any questions about working with a coach, especially as a beer leaguer who's an older goalie like myself, definitely leave the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer those. Alright, with that said, let's watch me, as usual, struggle with some skating to start off with.
Alright. Just going to work on a box drill to start off, just keep things a little bit more simple, a bit more like structured in terms of our skating. So normally we do C-cuts, but it can be beneficial just kind of work on rotations and then add in shuffles, add in T-pushes, recoveries, and everything like that. So just to start, simple box drill, you're just going to be going clockwise and then counterclockwise. So we're going to start with the shuffles. You're just going to start facing one of the pucks. You're going to pivot, you're going to shuffle in between, and then shuffle to the next puck. And we're just going to kind of go in a flow and basically a circle as we go across. So just to start off, you just be in your stance here. We're just going to do a quick pivot, shuffle, find that next puck, pivot, shuffle in between, find that puck, and then shuffle too. So really just working those quick pivots, so kind of getting flat, getting those good pushes across, and then just setting your feet in between. Okay. Sound good? Yep. So again, take your time, at your own pace, not really worried about speed. And then just kind of work your way through one way and then the other. Good. Other way. Give you a bit more room here as well. Awesome, and rest. Good. Next one, we'll just do a bit of a lateral push now. So instead of a short shuffles in between, we're going to do a longer shuffle. Okay, so just be here, square to the puck. Okay, we're going to pivot, we're going to step across and set. Rotate, pivot, step across and set. Okay, just working those through. There's a bit of a bigger step in between now instead of those smaller shuffles. Yep, yep. I can move those in too. I know it's a little, tricky. Yeah. 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 So you kind of want to just keep your feet flat on that one there instead of a T-push. So you really just got to load up and transfer that weight across. Good. Go the other way. Nice. Good. And rest. Good. Nice. How'd that feel?
Feet are always sore when I do these things.
Okay.
That's the thing. So
Yeah.
like, I'm always sore, dude.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Perks of being older, I guess. Right?
I think
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friends. He says like I'm always on the inside heel.
Okay.
A little bit too much. So I'm not really like, I'm always kind of like broken like this.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like kind of push out a bit more with my ankle.
Okay. I
I
see
don't
what
know
you
if
mean.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Are you saying you just kind of like this
Yeah,
too much?
I think I'm doing that too much.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're in your stance, you still want to have like your feet like nice and structured, like your ankles nice and structured. You don't want to have them kind of like slouched like that. The only time you really want to do that is like, okay, if you're really wanting to bite into the ice, you might have to bend your ankle a bit, but really you're kind of staying strong in your ankles there. You don't want to be like super collapsed because it's kind of like, it'll bring some weakness in your balance and then your pushes as well. Yeah, so really like all you want to be is you want to be angled on the inside edge. You don't want to kind of have your ankles bending in too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, next one here, we'll just work on our T-pushes across. Okay, so we're just going to hit all 4 pucks as you come across. On these ones, you can be a little bit closer, a little bit like close to the puck, basically. Right, so before we really push and turn, we're going to get that our eyes going, get that rotation, leading with our hands, T-push out and set. And then same thing the other way, looking, getting that rotation, T-push out, and then setting at the top of each puck. And you just want to make sure you use the puck as a visual cue. So before you move, get your head going, find that puck where you want to push to, T-push, and then stop hard with your lead leg. Okay, at your own pace. Good, yeah, go other way. Last one and rest. Good. How'd that feel?
It's always easier stopping on my right.
Yeah.
My left is always a little bit funky.
Yeah.
It always takes a bit of time to warm up.
What do you feel with the left side? Is just lack of balance or lack of strength? Like, what do you kind of feel is like the weakness
I
there?
think it's when I try to stop, I'm always kind of still leaning back.
Okay.
And I'm not really kind of getting
Okay.
over it. Like,
I think it might just be like lack of confidence in being able to stop with that leg, so you're kind of compensating in a different way.
I've been trying to work on that like all summer. And it's
Yeah.
a bit better now, but like I just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah, I mean, every goalie has their like their strengths and weaknesses. So like, you know, even growing up myself, I had a harder time like on the left side. So pushing out with my left side, stopping with my left side. So I kind of had a similar issue, and it was just because of a weakness in the left side of my skating, basically. So it was just an imbalance, whether it was muscular or just like the actual ability to skate. So it just took like a lot of time to kind of build those reps in and trust myself and really slow things down and do the movement properly. And then once I really got the hang of it and I felt confident, then I just added speed, and then it just kind of went from there. So that's kind of why I teach more in the terms of working on the technique first, understanding it, then really building like a solid foundation for that, and then you can add in speed, and then everything kind of picks up from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Let's do one round of butterfly recoveries. Okay. So yeah, just be in your butterfly.
Okay.
At each puck, we're gonna again hit all 4 pucks as you move across. So nice and simple. You just be in your butterfly here, and then same things with the T-push, right? We're just gonna be looking, finding that puck, getting that rotation in. So you want to have your chest almost facing that puck before you push. Plant that leg, T-push across, and then set your feet. Right? And same thing coming back across, right? Get your eyes going, find that puck, lead with your hands, plant that foot, T-push across, and then set. Take your time, again, no rush, right? Good, all done, yep. Yeah, we'll just do one way and then back the other way, so yeah, that was good. Awesome, that was really good. I like that a lot, that was well done. Yeah, yeah. Okay, take your time. All right, you can be a little bit lighter on your feet. I feel like right now it's good that you're kind of leaning forward and kind of over top of your, but you don't want to be too over top either. Right? The reason for that is when we come across, we're gonna kind of like accidentally we're gonna have too much weight over top, and then our body's gonna kind of lean forward extra more than we really need to. So what I mean by lighter on your feet is you can be a bit more, you can be nice and low and hinged over, but you don't want to be too hinged. Right? The reason for that is all our weight's forward now. It's easy for us to tip forward. Right? So you kind of want to find a middle ground that's not like super straight like this, and then not leaning too far like this. Kind of somewhere in the middle, and kind of be able to have that neutral stance as you go across and keep that consistent. Yeah. Good. Awesome. And rest. Good.
I think I was like over exaggerating.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it too, because you actually lose coverage if you're too over top, right? Because now your shoulders are not taking up the proper part of the net, especially when you go in your butterfly there. Yeah, awesome. let's do one round of slides, and then we'll get down to the net and we'll work on RVH stuff right away and kind of incorporate that, and I can explain that next. So this one here, same pattern, just going clockwise and counterclockwise, but now we're just going to do slides in between.
Okay. So slides from down or slides from up?
So starting up and then sliding down and then back up. So I'll give you a quick example here. So if you're going to be sliding there, right, same thing, we're going to look, we're going to rotate, lead with our hands, and then back up on our feet. Right? And then same thing across and then around. If you don't feel comfortable getting up right away, you can kind of slide, kind of come to a stop, and then get up with your lead leg.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I know like this one, like, and I'll do it. I think, like, I still can't really do the mechanic very well, I think, when I slide.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. Right?
Yeah, I mean, again, take your time on this one, and you don't have to worry about getting up right away in one motion. Right now, you can just focus on getting your eyes going first, rotating, right, and then having your chest square to that puck before you slide, loading up that leg, dropping that forward leg, getting a good slide, keeping everything sealed. What's really going to help you is going to be leading with your hands and your stick, right? The reason for that is if I'm here, right, and I don't lead with my hands and my stick, right, I can kind of spin and be out of control, right? Like I'm not going to land where I want to be. So you can think of like your hands and your stick as kind of like your compass or your navigation system, right? Those lead and then your body fills that space, right? So first thing you want to look, rotate, and then you lead with your hands, and I can come over top and I'm like nice and clear, and it's like I'm exactly where I need to be. If they're dragging or they're behind, they're dropping, right? That's when we kind of spin, over rotate, or kind of lose positioning. Yeah. So just give it your best shot. Work on that slide, and then you can kind of get up as you feel comfortable. Yeah. Good. We just want to make sure we're getting up with that lead leg. So normally you'd be getting up with this leg. So you just want to kind of keep that consistent. Right, because if I'm sliding this way, right, I'm going to be getting up with this leg here, right, and then the opposite on that side. So just make sure we're just getting up with the leg in front as you move across. Yeah. There you go. Good. Nice. Yep. Perfect. Awesome. Well done. Yeah, that was exactly it. Right. A little bit shaky just because we're just kind of working on it for the first time, but that's exactly it. All right. So you can kind of translate that to the other side now. Yeah. Be the last one here. Good. Last one. And rest. Okay. Nice. How'd that feel, man?
I don't really I feel I can feel that I'm not loading this leg enough.
Yeah, you're kind of just dropping in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a habit of mine. I've been doing that for a long time.
So there's one thing I should have probably pointed out earlier is these are shorter slides, right? It's not like you're sliding crease to or angle to angle. Right, it's not like you're sliding from the far side across or anything like that. So these are actually smaller pushes, so we don't actually have to load up too much, right? Because you want to kind of maintain your power with your slides as well, right? Because it doesn't make sense to over push on these ones because you don't need to. So you don't have to load too much, right? It's just enough where it can kind of get you there on time and in position. If you're pushing post to post or angle to angle, that's when you really need to load up and get that power. But normally, since you have a lot of size, you don't have to use that much power. So it's also about controlling how much you want to push with. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? Or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just got to keep practicing it.
Yeah, awesome, man. We'll head down to the net. We'll set up. We'll work on some backside push and some RVH stuff next, and it'll kind of be a bit more technical near the crease, and then kind of just flow from there.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Cool. Hey, grab a sip of water if you need it. What we're going to do here is just going to work on the RVH a little bit to start. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're just going to start in the middle of your crease. I'll put a puck up top because I know the crease is very faint right now. And then puck's just going to be at the bottom of the goal line. So all that's going to happen is you're going to start in the middle of the crease. Okay? You're going to look, rotate, to push to your post. Hey, I'm going to tap my stick. You're just going to drop into the RVH. Hey, once you're ready and set, I'm just going to take a shot. You're just going to seal up that side, and we'll go from there. We'll do a couple variations of that, and then we'll move into one where you're going to be dropping, rotating, backside push in, and then shot as you're sliding.
Is it like half on the inside, I guess? Or?
Say again?
Am I gonna put my trap on the inside?
Yeah, so I would recommend like either like your toe bridge into the post like this, or you can go boot into the post as well. So you can kind of see what's comfortable, and you can kind of test it out right now before we actually get started, and just see what you like. I know last time we spoke, you like the boot in, so that.
I've ever been able to like aim enough to like get this thing in. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I know it looks easy on when goalies do it, but it's actually quite complicated. Because it's just weird on the body.
I mean, I would love to try it.
Yeah.
Because I've never actually practiced it.
Yeah, of course.
Why don't we just like try to? So I'll come here and then I'll drop into it.
Yeah, and
Give it a try. I guess.
yeah. Let me just get some pucks on that side. Just put a puck up top here. Yeah, and really like slow it down. Like I'm not worried about speed at all. It's really like push, feel comfortable, drop. Once you're set, shot will come.
Is it like, so I'm doing here, yeah, so when I drop down, is it like literally, like, how do you...
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean.
How do you transition?
Yeah, I see what you mean. A couple different ways, like, so yeah, there is the way where you can kind of just drop in like this, but that's kind of where your skate's going to be on that post, right? What you actually kind of want to do is as you're coming in, you kind of actually just slide back a bit, right? So normally my ankle's on that post, but as I'm dropping, I slide back a bit, and then I do that as I'm dropping, right? So you're here, right? You come back in, and then you drop. So it's just like you kind of just do like a small push back, and then you drop in.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Let me get that, okay?
Yeah. Because that's going to help you get that boot into that post. Yep. All good. Take your time. Yep. Yep. It's a little tricky. Yeah.
Like that.
Almost. I would recommend actually going like your boot into the post, just because I feel like it's a little bit comfortable.
No, for sure.
But yeah, what you kind of want to do, you can even think about like not coming off your post, but just slightly kind of pushing off and then pushing in, just to kind of get. So I'll show you what that looks like. So as you're gonna going in, you can kind of step out, step in for that save. Right, so step out, step in, but very like slightly, just to give yourself enough room to drop. And it's just like a half lunge, really. Right, it's kind of, you're kind of just here, and just about as you're about to drop, it's almost like a half lunge. Right, so you're kind of like half lunging and then going in with your boot. Yeah. Yeah, all good. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Just want to make sure you get a nice seal. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, just go boot in, man.
Yeah, just for now, just so we're kind of getting started, we're getting comfortable with it. Getting the toe bridge in is a little tricky, especially when you're first starting to learn it. So right now, we just get comfortable going from an up position down into the RVH.
Okay, sure. I think I should do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yep. Yep. Nice. Yep. Perfect. Okay, let's go two more. Yep. Good. Last one. Yep. Yeah.
What's the transition like that? Like, do I shuffle back into my net or I T-push back in there?
That's personal preference. It just depends. Like, I mean, normally T-push, right, is the right answer. But you know, if you can just shuffle in, if you really feel like it, because it is depending on how good your skating is, right? So a lot of goalies, they can just do that shuffle across, and it is like easier because you're not opening up like a T-push, right? Like for example, if I'm here and I rotate, I can just like step into my post, but that does take a lot of power. So it just depends what you're comfortable with, right? Normally I like to just rotate T-push in, right? It's just I'm a little bit more used to it, so it is kind of personal preference. There's no right or wrong answer in that case. It just depends what you like in terms of that push. T-push is better because it is longer, so it's a little bit hard to shuffle across. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. I'll try to do a T-push, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal.
Yeah, because it does give you a bit more power, and you can kind of open up, and it's a little bit easier on your body as well.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do 3 more. We'll switch sides and go from the other side next.
Where should the stick be? Just, like, keep it up?
Yeah. So yeah, when you get to your post, you just want to line up like how you normally do with in your stance, right? And then if you kind of go into your RVH, there's kind of 2 ways actually. So if you just go on your post, down your RVH, if that puck is like, if it's like a wraparound attempt, you can actually go paddle down and be more active with your stick.
Okay.
But if it's a shot kind of like over there, you actually do want to have your blocker here because you want to seal up that hole, and then also keeps your shoulders high so that you can take away that top corner as well.
So do I need to protect my blocker at all? Or
No, just right here is perfect because this is a blocking save, right? You don't have to react at all. You can just kind of keep your glove ready, like you can keep it active in case there's a saucer pass and you want to intercept, or like you want to cover pucks up. Okay. But really, it is a blocking save.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do 3 more and then we'll switch sides. Yeah. Yep. Good. Last one. Good. Awesome. Yeah, we'll switch sides here. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to practice that.
Yeah, I thought that looked pretty comfortable overall.
Weird things I just like fumble into during a game.
Yeah, it's good to, because it does happen often, right? Net drives and near side attacks. So it's good that we spend the practice on it today. So. Yeah, so same thing here, but you just want to make sure, your glove is kind of positioned here. There's 2 ways with this again. You normally just want to seal up this portion here. So some goalies do this. You could also do this. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. I kind of just like having the glove here. But I do have seen goalies do that as well. It kind of makes, there's some sense behind it because your pocket is open, so any of those pucks come, you can kind of control that rebound as well. So anything on the ice, it'll kind of pop in there and you can seal it up. But main thing is you just want to cover this part here because that's kind of where the hole is.
Okay.
And then you can kind of have your stick in front here, and then you can kind of have that other leg kind of hinged, and yep, exactly like that, and that's basically it.
I lean kind of like...
Yeah, you want to lean onto the post.
Okay. Just seal it off.
But yeah, but not like too high. You can kind of just be comfortable. And really, like, you can use your head to make that save as well. Not ideal, not my favorite save, but it is there as an option, right? Because you can read it, right? As that player is kind of coming in, you can see with their follow through, right? If they're really trying to shelf it, right, they're really going to try and elevate. So you can pick that up and you can kind of really lean in. But most of the time, they're either trying to jam it, wrap around, or like there'll be a pass in front or something like that. Yeah. So again, take your time with the movement, slow it down, just work on pushing across, dropping in, and then that shot will come. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Good example. So, found a hole. So that one there, the first one actually did a good job. You actually got your toe bridge on that post, right? So that was actually really good. That was perfect. Just that other one is because we kind of went in between boot and toe bridge, so we're kind of in between. So what happened is we didn't really have a good seal, right? So you were kind of more like that, sort of. It was kind of like this, but there was a gap.
Okay.
So I kind of banked it in that way. So you either want to be really sealed in like that, or with your toe bridge in like you did the first one. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So that's a good example. You have your glove down. It's just in the pocket, covered up. Yeah. It's a good way to control the play. All right. Yep. 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 Let's do about 3 more. Yep. Yep.
I'm like looking, I'm like...
Yeah. Yeah, so you see this kind of like, this break here between your boot and your pad, that's kind of what you want to be have on that post. Yeah, just because this part is going to be in the net and this part's going to be out. So where you actually want to hinge, yeah, exactly like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of get it right in there.
Yeah. It takes a little bit of practice and timing. Like, it's not as easy as it sounds. It does actually take a little bit of work to get comfortable with.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Good. All right, great seal. Yeah. All right, last two. Nice, last one. Yep. Good. Awesome, man. How's that feeling?
Yeah, on this side, like I think my flexibility on this hip is a little bit, kind of pops out a lot.
Yeah.
It's the flexibility on this side. I know it is. Like,
Okay.
that left leg, man. I get a new left leg, man.
Yeah. Those imbalances really come out in these like weird kind of movements.
Yeah.
Because it does require like different muscles and different, like using your body in very different ways. So yeah, it can like kind of show like some weaknesses, like either your right side or your left side. But it's not a bad thing. It's just a matter of practice and doing the repetitions. So yeah, I thought overall that was pretty good, pretty solid. Yeah, it's just like not super comfortable with it yet, just because this is the first time we're working on it. But overall, I thought it was still pretty good. Yeah, any questions on that specifically, or?
How far do you like? I know when you kind of go down there, like you're supposed to like kind of lean out. Is that what you do? Like.
Yeah. The whole purpose, and you can kind of go into your RVH, and I'll show you here. The whole purpose of this leg kind of being up is for you to be able to hinge. So like later on, it's like if you need to kind of angle your body this way, you can do that with your back leg. If you need to be flatter because you need to push cross crease, then you can angle yourself on the flat on the goal line and be able to push across.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, like an example here is like if I'm on my post here and I need to kind of angle myself back because I need to like go post to post, I need to be flat on the goal line. Because if I'm angled this way, for me to push across, I'm going to land somewhere here as opposed to the post.
Right. Okay.
Right? So if I'm over here, right, and someone's going to wrap around, I got to hinge back, push across, and now I'm over here. Okay. Right? If I don't hinge flat, then I'm going to be off when I slide. I'm not going to hit my post. So that's kind of the whole reason for the leg up.
How do I, because my boot's in the net, like how do I push off like that then?
Yeah.
That's the weird thing.
That's kind of why most goalies use the toe bridge, just because it's a little bit more comfortable. You can still push across with your boot. You'll just end up using this part of the net instead, as opposed to your post. So even if I am boot in like I am now, right, I can still hinge flat and push across, and it's not a problem. Okay. Right, you're still using the net. Yeah. It's just the inner part of the net as opposed to the post.
Okay.
Because you're still gonna, as long as they're flat when you rotate, you're still gonna end up boot in on this side as well.
Right. Okay.
It's parallel, so it's
cool. Okay.
It'll be fine. Yeah.
Must pegs pop out.
Yeah, true. Not here, but maybe somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah. Next variation is we're gonna start in the middle. You can just be in your stance or in your butterfly, whatever you prefer. But you're gonna be, well, I mean, you just be in your butterfly. You're gonna rotate, backside push right into your RVH for a shot. Okay. So what this one looks like is just about timing and control, and also that rotation. So as you're here, right, you wanna get your eyes going, rotate. Again, getting your chest almost square to the puck. You're gonna backside push right into your RVH for a shot. Okay. Any questions on that?
Grab a quick sip?
Yeah, I forgot to ask you to get water, but yeah, take your time, grab a sip. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Say it again?
I can't push that far with my left one.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I forgot to put the puck here as well. can go a little bit deeper. So,
Double circle.
yeah, you can take like a couple shuffles back. Yeah, no, I thought it was good. Yeah, yeah, it looks fine to me. Yep. Good. Good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all good. Good. Wrong move. Wrong move. Okay, good. 2 more. Okay, last one. Awesome. How's that feeling?
It's good, man. You know what, man? Before last December, I couldn't even do the left side at all. So it's progression.
Yeah, I thought that looked really smooth. You know, that's a great example as you make a stick save in the middle, right? There's like a forward down low, right? And you see they're about to take a shot. You do a quick recovery to your post, seal it up, cover that lower side, and then you can also transition into a wraparound, transition into a net, or whatever from there. But this is kind of the first step in the recovery process. Yeah, good. Let's switch over to the other side here. Good. Good. So that one we kind of landed on a skate. The first two were pretty good, right? We got that toe bridge on, and then the other one kind of really landed hard with their skate. I'll just be careful with landing hard because it really does impact your hips a lot because it can like really pinch things in there. So I wouldn't recommend like putting too much power, but like just enough where you're in a good medium between getting there on time and efficient, but not too slow and not too fast. Just because if we put a lot of pressure into it, we can actually damage like our hips a lot. But like, you know, 1 or 2 like is not a big deal, right? But like if you overdo it, like you do it a lot, because you're really landing this way, so pressure is here and then it ultimately ends up in your hips just because you are kind of being pinched a bit. It's a weird position, right? So you kind of want to come in a little bit smoother, and yeah, you can just take a little bit power off just because we're also talking about longevity, right? You don't want to like get hurt and then not play just because you know, again, it comes down to managing that power, right? You don't need too much power going to the post, just enough, right? And in a game situation, it depends. Like you want to get there early. Sometimes, you know, that shot's about to go off and we really got to push hard, right? Those situations are different, but just normally we don't have to put too much power into it as well.
Yeah, so when I'm like turning towards your puck and I'm pushing to the post, like it might like, because I'm not really thinking about aiming my leg, really, to be honest. I'm just looking at you.
Yeah.
So like, should I be more focused on like landing my foot properly, or like?
It's similar to like when you're pushing on your feet. So we talked about when you're on your feet, you want to rotate and you kind of angle your back ankle to the post. Similar idea. And you had your aim was well on the first couple that you did there. Really, it just comes down to that rotation. Right. So on the first few, you had a really good rotation, right? You're square to the puck with your chest, and then it's just about sliding in. So I thought you did a great job the way it was. You just want to make sure you try and land boot in or like toe bridge in. So I would just work on like where you land with your pad, but other than that, like the aim overall is pretty good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, maybe try that one. Yep. Good. You got it. Nice. Okay, last two. Yep. Okay, last one. Good. Awesome, man. How'd that feel?
Yeah, I think I have to actually have to kind of keep the post in my peripheral a little bit.
Yeah.
When I turn.
Yeah, it's similar because again, you want to get your eyes facing that puck, wherever you're pushing to, right? So since I am at the goal line, you're gonna have your post in your vision anyways.
Right.
Right. So as you're rotating, you're gonna see kind of where you want to land as well. So yeah, your post using your peripheral vision is a great point as well, and then that can definitely help you aim with your leg and get sealed up.
Sweet.
Yeah, thought that was great. Any questions, thoughts on that one, or?
I can't believe I can do those, man. I honestly, 6 months ago, I cannot do this at all. So.
Yeah. No, I thought that went really well. It was impressive. I thought it was really good. Yeah. Let's work on the overlap on both sides next.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. That way we kind of work on all techniques and kind of transitioning in, and then later on, whether it's at the end of practice or next practice, we can kind of work on actual situational plays, and you kind of applying either the RVH or the overlap and going from there. But I think it'd be good just to walk through the overlap once, just isolating it and working on the technique and the shot, and then going from there. Yeah, awesome, man. You can grab a quick sip. I'll set up pucks, and then you can go from there. All right, talk about the overlap here. So with the overlap, there's a few different variations we can use it in. Mostly it's a good one because you've probably seen even goalies in the NHL and just in general, they'll go down the RVH early, and it'll be kind of in between this gray area where it's the angle, and then it's the goal line. So it'll be in between there, right? Because you'll have the angle here and you'll have the goal line here, but you have this kind of gray area here, right? Because if we go down in our RVH here and that puck is in between this zone, right, the player actually can roof it over your head, and there's also that far side available as well that's open for a shot. So actually, in my opinion, going down the RVH in this area is maybe not the best, because number one, we're exposing ourselves too early, right? Because we're already down, we're kind of limiting our options. Even if there's a pass across, it might be difficult to kind of get there. So it's actually better to stay up on your feet, and then now a lot of goalie coaches and goalies in general are kind of doing an overlap, and that really is to kind of take over this area here. So all that is instead of being on your post, you actually kind of step out and you have your leg on the outside of the post, right? And you kind of have your leg kind of like your left ass cheek on this post here, and then all you're doing is you're here, and it's just a normal butterfly play.
You don't come out at all,
No. Yeah. And the reason for that is because it's a near side play with the shot over here, right? So it's basically if that puck is in this area here, right? If this is the shot, because if we go down in our RVH, right, that player can shoot over there on this side and then also on the near side here, right? And we don't need to be too out in front either, right? Because we can get exposed on the back side and that player can kind of cut in, or it can be a wraparound. So we still want to be on our post. The other mistake we don't want to make is being too far over, right? Because now we're just going to be covering the boards. We don't really need to be doing that. So when you actually do this, you really take up the whole short side. So you can even just play the percentages and know he's probably going to shoot to the blocker side, so you can have that covered. So when you do butterfly here, right, your shoulder actually covers most of that far side, and then all that's really need to be done is cover that far side over here, and then your side should be covered as well. Yeah, so what we can do is you'll just start in the middle, T-push to your post, move into an overlap, and then just butterfly and make a save. Yeah, nice and simple.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I don't remember. We'll start with this side here. Oh, need my glove. Yep. So basically, I'll show you it again. So we're here, right? Pucks are gonna be in the corner there. All we're doing, we're stepping out like this, and then butterfly save.
Weird, man.
I know, it's weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was another one too where they started teaching like a panda.
Yeah, I heard about that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, I can't say too much because I've never really used it and it doesn't make sense to me. But from what I understand, basically it's an overlap, but then it's an RVH on the outside. So it's kind of like one of these. I just can't really wrap my head around like why you would do that. Yeah, because I believe kind of standing on your feet and using your edges and holding your edges is always a better move. And just being patient, unless that puck is really in tight where we kind of have to be down in our RVH or in our butterfly. But I believe like anytime that puck is further out, it's better to stay up on your feet and just not expose yourself by going down too early. Okay. Yeah. Questions on that, or hopefully that makes.
Let's try to dance a little uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And again, just making sure we're squaring up our shoulders as well. Yep. Yep, perfect. Yep. Not too bad, not too bad. Yep. Yep. I'll imagine 2 in a row. Hey, 2 more. Good. Hey, last one. Nice. Hey, I'll switch sides. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, and yeah. And what you can do actually, so if you go on your post and then step onto your overlap. So really, what you want to be doing is you're covering up that short side really nice, because in that overlap, this whole short side's covered, right? And then that whole far side's covered as well, right? So if you go down in your butterfly, right? So right here, right, this is perfectly covered, so you don't actually have to do much, right? You just have to pick up that puck early if it is coming to the short side, but your shoulder should cover it, and then the shoulder covers that far post as well, because if I draw a straight line here, right, it's exactly in line with your shoulder here, and then this post is here as well. So you actually are very square to any puck in this zone over here, right? And that's like kind of the whole goal, because if you go down into your RVH, so if you kind of back up and go into that stance there, right, and that puck travels in a straight line, so there is a line to that far side as well, and that far part of the net. And if you were a smaller goalie, I could maybe have some room on the near side as well. Okay. So it's just not to give up that far side and kind of expose yourself too early. Instead, you can just be more square and make a normal butterfly save, and then you can still recover to your post, recover to the far side, and you can just do everything normally. It's just like an extra step out. But it does require a lot of timing and practice to kind of get used to it as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool, man. Hopefully that makes...
Let's keep doing it.
Yeah, okay. We'll move over to this side here. Good. Good. And I have like nothing to shoot at, by the way, so that's another benefit for sure. Good. Last 2. Good. Go one more. I know, backhand's lethal with the Sherwood. Yeah. Perfect, man. How'd that feel? How'd you feel on that one?
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Yeah.
I think it's just, definitely not used to playing off that post at all.
Yeah, yeah. And it is used in a very specific scenario, right? Usually in this gray area here. So when the puck's not on the goal line, but not on the angle, kind of somewhere in that middle zone, that's kind of where you want to use that overlap, right? Just because RVH doesn't make too much sense, and then being out and attacking doesn't make too much sense. So it's kind of like covering that.
What if it's like a breakaway or something like that?
Yeah,
cutting in or something like. Well, yeah,
few different ways you can play it.
You just play like a breakaway.
Because then that's essentially a net drive,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, and this is something we can probably work on for the next one. Now that we have like the different like techniques you can use, but essentially like. If that player is coming in, he kind of has three options, right? He can either cut in this way, right, for a shot or for like a deke to the far side, right? So that way you can kind of step out and be in an overlap and then transitioning into a butterfly or into like a far side push, right? Other one is if he kind of goes down past the hash marks, right, and he comes in for the near side, this would be an RVH play, right? And then if he goes for a wraparound, that would also be an RVH play across.
When I get a net drive coming down from that area, I'm always like, I'm like this. I always kind of like down here.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah. There's like a few different scenarios, right? So it's like you have three different like variations with these pucks, right? One is that player is coming in. This is more on the angle, right? So this is just more of a normal breakaway, right? So you're just on the angle making that save. The other one where it's like kind of in that gray area, so he's kind of attacking here, right? So you can't really do RVH and you can't really be on the angle. So this is where we would use the overlap. So you can either butterfly if he shoots, or if he cuts across, then you can hinge and then push flat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then the other one would just be like the RVH, the near side, a near side drive, or it would be like a wraparound across. If that makes sense.
Cool, man. Yeah. Sweet.
Questions on that?